What's going on, guys? So today's video is going to be very interesting. I am at my sponsor's location, etrailer.com in St. Louis, or right outside of St. Louis, and I'm going to show you some lighting. Now there's a reason why I'm showing you this lighting, and it's not just because they carry lighting, it's because of the specific application that we will soon need lighting for. Hang tight, I'll be right back. Okay, so I think most of you know by now that eTrailer is my official channel sponsor. They've sponsored my channel for the last 6 years. They are an absolutely phenomenal partner, but more importantly, they are probably one of the best places you can go to get aftermarket accessories for your truck, your trailer, your SUV, your RV, just all sorts of applications, including motorhomes. So you have so many things available to you from an aftermarket perspective. Sometimes it's difficult wondering where you can go to get them. In front of you today is an example of that. So I think a lot of people see the name etrailer.com and they automatically assume everything they do is for trailers, which is not true. They carry so many things from winches to lighting accessories to running boards to just anything you could really imagine. And this right here is an important part of my decision-making process because whenever it comes time for me to replace the bumper on my truck, which is actually coming up kind of soon, it was a really difficult decision on what brand of lighting to go with. I definitely wanted to go with something that was reputable, something that was considered best in class, and also something that I just don't have to worry about. And I wanted to definitely go with something that my channel sponsor carried, and I wanted to see just the vastness of their offering. And this is only a tiny, tiny part of it. And within all the brands we're about to go over, they have several models and different designs and different types. So let's talk about some of those. Okay, so the first one we're going to go over is a brand called Diode Dynamics. Now, when I started researching this brand, I found out that it compared very, very well directly against Rigid and Baja designs. So those are two what a lot of people would consider to be some of the best lights available. And Diode Dynamics is compared directly to those. From a price point perspective, I think they're about the same price. Might be a little less expensive, but I do think that they all compete in that same price category. They are manufactured in the United States, so they put this nice little flag and an indicator here to say US made lighting. Some of the cool aspects of them is that they make SAE and DOT compliant lighting, as well as lights specifically for applications that you might be looking for. So for instance, if you're looking for a floodlight, you want as much light in front of you as possible to illuminate the largest possible area, to flood the area with light. If you're looking for a fog light, then you want what's called kind of a pencil beam pattern, to where it's a real thin beam of light, but it's placed so low on the vehicle that it actually spreads that beam out, but it doesn't go up very high. It's basically to cut through the fog from the bottom and illuminate the road underneath fog. If you want your standard type of kind of blended light pattern, then you want a standard type of light, which is going to give you a great front casting area. It's not going to bleed too high. It's not just going to cover everything beneath it, but it's going to give you a really nice wide swath so you don't have to worry about too much of your light bleeding above the area that you're trying to illuminate. And they carry all of those. They have some of these really cool kind of hybrid designs. So you have kind of a mixture of projector and reflector style. And these lights are supposed to do a phenomenal job of getting very clean, very properly dispersed light out in front of you, depending on the type of pattern you're looking for. So look at the box here. You can see that you have your SAE high beam driving light. You have your SAE fog wide beam light. You have your floodlight. You have your spotlight. And then you have your combo, and this gives you a really good example of how each one of those differs in terms of light output and how much light it gets in front of you and around you. So that is really cool. Big fan of what they're doing with their design and engineering, and honestly, this is probably going to be the light that I go with. I love the fact that you can see they have high-end Bosch style connectors here on the back. They give you a really good watertight connection. And then this is where you would splice it into your wiring going to it, or you can get like a relay harness, which would also provide you upped power if you need it from a switch. Now next to it, we have these Technique lights. These are really cool. Check these out. So these have little kind of reflector with mini projectors in front of them. Another brand of light that they carry. This is the wiring harness for it. You can also see the Bosch style connectors. This has the relay built into it, which is also really nice. The reason why you need a relay is because if you have a power source that would typically turn this on and off but does not have the power it needs, the relay would typically be wired to a much more powerful source, like directly to your battery, and the switch would only essentially be like a light switch. It would flip the relay on so it pulls power from your battery, and it only uses a small amount of power to flip the switch on or off to trigger the relay. Now over here you have these ARC lights. These are called Tiny Monster. Also have kind of a projector style reflector housing on it. And they claim to be high performance, street legal. They give you a 3-year warranty. SAE, they're J581 compliant. So that's really nice. And they're going to have all sorts of different types of light beam patterns, which is nice. You can see these are the auxiliary high beams. So you definitely want to make sure what specific beam pattern you're looking for, because in many ways that's going to dictate when you can use these and how you can use them. And then over here, check this out. So you have this Vision X, which is also a very, very high reputable brand, very, very good brand. And this is called the Light Cannon LED kit. Check this thing out. That thing is crazy. Look at that, 2,500 feet of usable light. That's insane. This is what you might want to put on a light bar on the top of your vehicle to the front. Maybe you're going hunting and you want to get the largest, craziest light you can. 50-watt single source LED. Anybody who knows about LED lighting realizes that you typically have like 1, 3, or 5-watt LEDs. That's typically what you see in this stuff, and they're insanely bright. This has a 50-watt single source LED. That is absolutely insane. So yeah, if you put this on your Jeep, if you put this on your off-road vehicle, maybe your Can-Am, something like that, maybe on the front of your bumper, you are only ever going to want to use these when you're off-roading and you don't have anybody in front of you that you're going to be blinding, because you absolutely can blind somebody with these. So you want to be very, very careful about that. This is crazy. They are IP68 rated. They have their harnesses as well. Very, very cool. This is not going to be a DOT light, so don't even try to use this while you're driving down the road. Then you can see you have all sorts of different filters and covers that are optional. But that is very cool. What do you guys think? I mean, it's just an example. I had considered brands like Rigid and Baja Design, but my channel sponsor eTrailer carries some really, really high-end brands that are known for reliability and have the SAE, the DOT compliance that I'm looking for, just so I know I'm putting the right light in the right area, and whenever I'm using that light, I'm doing it in a legal way, because that is super important. So whenever we get the bumper and we get these installed, whichever ones we choose to go with, I'm kind of leaning more towards the Diode Dynamics though, but whenever we get them installed, I'm going to definitely let you all know why we went with the different types of lights that we went with, where we put them, and why it was so important to get that right. That's super, super critical. Now, I will put a link in the description of my video that will take you over to eTrailer so you can compare the different lights there. You can see the videos that they've made on them, as well as understand what light might be best for certain applications that you may need them for. If they're going to go in a replacement bumper as a replacement fog light or floodlight, or if it's going to be going on a light bar and you just want as much light as possible because you're way out in the middle of nowhere and you need to be able to illuminate as far ahead of you as possible without blinding people or without intentionally blinding people. And whenever you go check them out, definitely pay attention to the lumens, how bright they are, how much light they're putting out, because in addition to getting these in all of these different beam patterns, they also have these in different brightness levels. So you can get these so they're stupid, insanely bright. You can get them so they're really bright, but not crazy bright. And you can get them to essentially fit the need you're looking for the application you're going to be using them for. Anyways, guys, I sure hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel. Big shout out to my channel sponsor, etrailer.com. Check these products out, and we'll talk to you again very soon.